Well, hello. Yeah, I'm live again. I'm sitting here trying to do stuff. I got a little water. You know, you're probably wondering, hey, wait a minute. It's Monday. Why is Cassidy doing a video? Well, there's a reason for that. And it's not because I got this shitty wig. I gotta get a new wig. I do. I have to get a new wig. I should order one today while I can. Yeah, I should get a new wig today. Because this one is a disaster. I mean, it's getting frayed. But yeah, I actually have some great news. And no, it's not a job. I'm sorry to say, no. If you're expecting me to say, "Oh, Cassidy got a job," it's great news. No, I didn't get a job yet, but it's something almost as good. And let me set it up for you. I had this. I guess you could say yesterday, when I was sitting around the house doing things, I had kind of an epiphany. And I won't go into any detail about how the epiphany came around. But the reality is, I definitely came to the conclusion that, there's been a few changes in my life of late. And the best thing to do when you have changes of that nature is just go with them, let them flow. You have to let it happen. And as I stated in my other video Saturday, there was a sense that perhaps I was getting a little too comfortable with situations as they were. This relating back to my old team. But that's the same thing I was starting to feel about my life. And I have gotten into this before. I have hit a situation where I feel like I'm so comfortable doing this, I don't want to get out of it. The job I was in the longest, part of the reason why I was in it so long was it just was comfortable. It was a 30-minute commute back and forth. I had plenty to do for a while. And probably for the first, I'd say 7 years that I was there, I really enjoyed work. It was toward the last 6, especially the last 4 or 5, where I really began to see the writing on the wall. And I should have done something to get out of the situation before it went kablooey on me, but I didn't, because I was comfortable with what I was doing. I was comfortable just coming in and doing shit, just getting through an 8-hour day and then going home. And I think a lot of us get that way. And I've been feeling a bit comfortable. I've also been feeling, depression does that too. Depression gets you in this groove where you don't want to get out. And so I ran into that as well. So when I had this epiphany yesterday, I said, I really need to do stuff. I really need to do something. I really need to change. So I actually went out yesterday for breakfast, went over to Cornerstone Cafe, and I took my computer with me. And when I'm taking my computer with me, something's probably going to happen. Now, let me point out, I have not been out on a Sunday breakfast in a long time. Part of it is money. I don't want to spend the cash. Or at least try not to spend the cash if I can help it. But a lot of it was, I felt like it was kind of a rut by doing that same thing over and over again. And since I wasn't doing any writing, it didn't feel like I needed to go do that. So it's like, I want to do some writing. I really do. And I did. I actually wrote a 912-word scene in chapter 24 of the current novel, See for Continuing, where Carrie calls his grandparents who are on their cruise through Mexico, and he speaks with them. And so I wrote almost 1,000 words. 912 words. It was just over 900 words in a sitting. I did it actually in about an hour and a half. And like I said, when I got back, I posted on Facebook that it was the first time I'd written in my novel in almost 2 months. The last time I had written anything was on August the 7th. Yeah. And so here it was September 30th, and I was writing. Yeah. But that's not the end of it. I got home. I went out and I got something to eat. I actually got an early dinner, and it was a big dinner. I got a huge dinner, like a gigantic plate of Salisbury steak. Sorry about that. A gigantic plate of Salisbury steak. And by the time I finished that and soup and salad, I was plenty full for the night. I didn't have to eat anything else. So I got back here about 4:30 or so. And I brought up one of my mermaid stories, the one I wrote 2 years ago for my first mermaid. And I started editing it. And I was just like on a tear editing it. I mean, I really was. And I got through about half of it in probably about 90 minutes. Because it was something I've been wanting to do for a while. And I felt it needed it because you never know. I might throw it out there. If I can get it all edited. Somebody actually gave me a mermaid scale background that I could use for a cover. So I'm thinking about actually doing that and just putting it up on Amazon for like 99 cents, that sort of thing. And it's something I've talked about, put it up on Smashwords, put it up on Amazon, 99 cents, here you go. But then I got back into the novel. And I started on the next scene, which was Carrie going flying with Victor. And I wrote 729 words in it. I'm looking at it right now. Which means I wrote just yesterday in the course of about 3 hours, because it took me about an hour and a half to write that as well. I wrote 1,641 words, almost 1,650 words. I have not written 1,600 words in that novel in such a long time. I mean, I've talked about the fact, I did 500 words and I'm done. And that was it, Cool. I got it. But yesterday was like 1,600 words, almost 1,650. Not to mention the fact that I was doing a lot of editing. I edited probably 12,000 words yesterday. So I haven't done any writing today. I've done a lot of editing. And I have a bit of writing I have to do tomorrow. I'm actually going to be doing like 3 simultaneous recaps for the end of Fear the Walking Dead, be done with it. But yeah, I'm getting back into my writing slowly but surely. And I think it's because I've just come to the understanding that if I'm going to change one aspect of my life, I need to change another aspect of my life. And I need to begin making changes. And I talked to my author friend of mine who she's actually been pushing me to try to start getting stuff published. And she even told me that the last few months I've so wanted to get on your ass and tell you to start writing again, but I also know that can be counterproductive, And I said, given the way I've been feeling with my depression and everything, I wouldn't have done it. I just would have blew it off. But it felt good. It felt really good. And now I'm like, okay, I started this scene with Carrie and Annie's dad. I really need to see it through to the end. And then the scene after that is Christmas. And that's when because this is taking place early in the morning on Christmas. And the Christmas scene is actually going to take place. It's going to be the Kirilovi family handing out presents. Will Carrie be included in that? Of course he'll be included in that. You know he will. But, Ren had left a message the other day when I posted my other video, and she said she was starting to miss certain people in her life, and I knew who she was talking about. And I said, yeah, I've been missing him too. And I really have. I've been thinking more and more over the last few weeks about Annie and Carrie and their life. A lot of it I've been looking at their later life, but there's still like all this stuff that's going on in school that I'm beginning to feel more of the need to get it out and get it done. But at the same time, I'm also feeling the need to go back to the very first novel, which I have been doing, rereading it, parts here and parts there, and just to start editing it, because I want to get it out. I want to get it published. And I haven't felt this way in a long time. Actually, for the first time in like maybe 6 months, I actually feel kind of excited about storytelling. I even told my friend last night, I said, I've got this new mermaid story. I know some of you guys don't like mermaids. I do. But I have this new idea for a mermaid story that I'd like to do. And it probably would be like a quick 25,000 word story. That's the nice thing about those. You're right. You're knocking off like, 25,000 words. It's no big deal. Not to me. Yeah, I guess you could call that good news. Now, the thing is, will I continue with it? I haven't had the urge. I've been sitting here listening to music and editing since like 8 o'clock this morning. I mean, really, I've been going on a tear on it with only a few short breaks here and there. And I'm liable to go out and do a trivia thing tonight, a trivia get together with a few friends. So, like I said, I'll probably write some tomorrow because I don't have practice today and I don't have practice tomorrow. I have practice on Wednesday and Thursdays now, and but I don't have that until late. So I have time to write. I have time to edit. I have time to do a lot of things, and that's what I really should be doing. So the question really is going to become one of, well, am I going to start posting excerpts again? And I don't know if I am or not. That's an interesting conundrum for me. I had said at one time I was thinking about putting a Patreon up. And releasing stuff that way. But I really don't know what I'm going to do with it. I haven't decided. To talk with my one author friend up in Maine, she's just like, publish the shit, get it out there, publish it right now, don't mess around, just publish this shit and get it out there, So probably going to take her up on that. Probably going to talk to her and see what it's going to take to actually do this. One of the biggest problems I have right now is I can't afford an editor and I can't afford someone to do covers. And the promise of, well, I'll pay you like 6% of everything I make on my stories, yeah, that's great if I make like $50,000 or $60,000. That's $6,000 for editing right there. $3,000 for editing. Not so good if, it's not so good if I make $30. Here's your 60 cents. Here's your 30 cents. Don't spend it all in one place. And I've joked about that before. I've joked about the fact that, I got like a $6 royalty check this month. Woo! This quarter, I'm ready to rock. I'm buying lunch at McDonald's off the dollar menu. I'm really, really excited. I'm really hoping that this actually keeps going. Because like I said, when I woke up this morning, I was like, I want to keep going. I got to write about this. I left it where Carrie and Victor are taking off and they're getting ready to go flying. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who want to find out why Victor wants to go flying with Carrie at like 5 o'clock in the morning before Annie gets up. We know why. So, tell me about my daughter. Tell me a little bit about my daughter. What do you feel about my daughter? Yeah. Yeah, we know Victor. He's got his eye on that boy. Oh, if he only knew what that boy has done with his daughter. And I should point out what that boy has done consensually with his daughter. Because Kerry would never force himself on Annie, mostly because Annie would probably shock the shit out of him if he tried. Yeah, you gotta think, what would it be like if you were like some teenager and some horn dog's putting the moves on you, and you have the ability to stop their heart or just deliver like a massive electrical shock to their body. See, Carrie's going to get Annie to go to one of the Halloween parties as Lum one of these days. You know you will. He's going to work on her. Come on, you could be Lum. And if you remember, I once wrote about that Urusei Yatsura. She's this green-haired girl with demon horns, and she wears a tiger stripe bikini the entire time and floats around in the air. And she delivers like these massive electrical shocks when she's displeased with you. So, that's Annie. Annie can do that. But, there's that line that Carrie can't cross where he's bugging her too much. When she finally says no, and I mean it, he knows. Don't push your luck. So, yeah, anything that those two kids have done together, it's been completely consensual. Annie could never force herself on Carrie, and Carrie could never force himself on Annie. Not that they need to. Because, it's sort of like if Annie's snuggling up next to Carrie and she's like, I'm feeling like I could use a little love. And Carrie'd be like, where do you feel like you need love, honey? Down there, Oh, let me take care of that for you. Teenagers in love. Yes, teenagers at that age do have sex. So don't look at me like I'm weird. It was weird. What was weird was Harry Potter, where those kids were like completely sex. What's that? We don't even know what a TV is. Boy, we don't even know what a television is. So what the hell? Sex? No, we don't do that. We don't do that at all. No. Yeah. So yeah, Carrie, Victor, alone, talking. The possibilities. See, I know what's going to happen. I know what Victor's going to ask, and I know how Carrie's going to respond. So to me, it's no surprise. But I'm sure there's a few of you out there thinking, "Oh my God, this could be a disaster. Is Carrie even going to come back? Is Victor going to come home and say, "Oh no, Carrie crashed into a tree at 300 kilometers an hour. There's nothing left of his body. Sorry, I had to bury him in the woods." Well, there wasn't much left of his body, so I buried him in the woods. Yeah, Annie's not going to buy that. And Annie, when she finds out her father's been out with Carrie, it's going to be like, Papa, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Don't embarrass me. Are you trying to embarrass me? No, honey, I'm not trying to embarrass you. You're embarrassing me, Papa. Don't do that. There you go. So that was the news. That's the news I wanted to give you. Short, sweet, and to the point, and under 20 minutes. Yeah. So I'm still trying to decide what I want to do, if I'm going to release that or not. Release experts. Yeah, I have experts everywhere. Excerpts or not. Well, I'll figure that out. Probably write about it a little bit too, but I just wanted to clue you and let you know. It seems like I'm getting back into it, and that's good news. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.